When you get somebody who breaks the rules and maybe skirts authority, every once in a while there's one person on the team you get to do that for. Bill Campbell was a coach of the Columbia football team. He was a terrible coach of the Columbia football team, just to let you know. I think they won like 2 games. His team was not good. Bill's gone. I laugh a little bit. The fact that he's probably the greatest executive coach of all time, it turns out he was maybe not the best football coach, but the lessons apply. What's fun is when you talked about Bill when he was here about sports. Bill was a big Pittsburgh fan. He grew up in Homestead, which is in the western part of the state. Grew up dirt poor in Homestead. There's a bar you can go to in Homestead, and you tell them you know Bill Campbell, you'll drink for free. I'll leave that to the audience to find out which bar that is. There ain't too many in Homestead, though, so you can probably figure it out. And I remember we talk about sports all the time, and he knew I was a big Eagles fan, and he, of course, didn't like the Eagles because it's the wrong side of the state, and yeah, the Eagles had never won a Super Bowl at that point in time. But we talk about sports a lot, and every once in a while you get in a discussion about something like the big fight that happened between Terrell Owens and Donovan McNabb. Now, this is 20 years ago, but in the 2004 Super Bowl, you know, it was rumored that McNabb threw up, and it was rumored that Terrell Owens called him out for it. Owens, if you remember, in 2004, he came back under remarkable situation. No chance in hell he'd make the Super Bowl. But that was his first day after coming off the injured list. Comes to the Super Bowl, has like 150 yards receiving. Like one of the amazing performances in actually NFL history. And so there's this big argument about, well, Terrell Owens he's a prima donna, he's awful, he's bad for the corporate culture, he's bad for the team culture. McNabb's the CEO, he's the quarterback. So we would talk about stuff like this. So Bill was my coach in like 08, 09, 10. So this is a topic we talk about. And Bill would say this reluctantly, and you could tell it caused him trouble and consternation. Every once in a while we got a superstar, they get different rules. Now you can't have 10 superstars, Paul. You can't have 10 of them. You can't break the rules for 10 people. Every once in a while you get the one person in the world who can come back from an injury and play in the Super Bowl. They get different rules. By the way, it'll piss everybody else off on the team. But you need to let the rest of the team know that that person is so extraordinary that they get those rules. And maybe one day, if you're extraordinary enough, you will too. But right now, that's the one person on the team that gets to be treated that way. Bill was comfortable with that. And I would say that this is at odds with most of his CEO coaching brethren, who would say you don't make an exception like that. But Bill knows that Silicon Valley is built on extraordinary talent. And when you get a Steve Jobs, when you get a Travis Kalanick, when you get somebody who breaks the rules and maybe skirts authority, every once in a while there's one person on the team you get to do that for. And that was always his philosophy. In any given management team, you can tolerate one of them, but not 2. Maybe Bill was wrong. Maybe you could tolerate 2, or maybe you should only tolerate 0. But his philosophy was very clear. You can tolerate 1. And you let the rest of the team know that you're doing that, as opposed to, oh, they get away with it just because. You make it clear to them, oh, they don't get away with it just because. They get away with it because they're that important and I know.